Part 3, Faith in Relationships. Love that endures when the lights go out. 9 months after our wedding, life tested everything we promised at the altar. A terrible accident shattered my world. Multiple broken bones, 10 hours of surgery, and a bill so large it nearly matched the weight of my pain. For a time, I stood between life and death. I remember staring at the ceiling and asking questions no man ever wants to ask. What is the future of a man who is broken? Can he still work? Is he still useful? Can he still be loved? And yet, love stayed. It did not flee when I could no longer stand. It prayed when I could not speak. It wept but did not walk away. That season taught me what vows truly mean. Love is not proven in the calm, but in the storm. It is not measured by what we have to give, but by what we keep giving when everything else is gone. It was there, in pain, in weakness, in faith, that I learned the sacred truth. Faith and love are not two paths, they are one. To believe in God is to love as He loves, unselfishly, enduringly, and truthfully. 1. Where love becomes a covenant, not a contract. Love today is often loud but fleeting, declared in grand gestures, yet abandoned at the first sign of difficulty. We fall in love quickly, but tire just as fast. We celebrate the wedding, but forget the daily choosing that marriage requires. In a world that prizes convenience over commitment, love has become something to consume, not to cultivate. But real love is not a transaction, it is transformation. It asks not, what do I get, but how much can I give? A covenant does not say, I will love you as long as you make me happy. It says, I will love you even when it costs me. This kind of love mirrors God's own faithfulness, steady through storms, silent in service, radiant in forgiveness. It matures from passion to purpose, from emotion to devotion. When faith enters a relationship, love becomes something holy. It no longer depends on mood or moment, but on grace. It learns to forgive 70 times, 7 times, to see the cross not as defeat, but as the deepest expression of love. That is what covenant means. Not a love that fades when beauty fades, but a love that endures because it has found its anchor in God. And when two hearts love this way, their marriage becomes more than survival. It becomes grace made visible. 2. When the spotlight fades, what Hollywood forgot about love. Fame can light up a face, but it cannot keep a heart from breaking. In Hollywood, love is often dazzling. Grand weddings, perfect photos, and promises whispered before cameras. But when the applause fades, many of those stories end in silence. Nicole Kidman once said that after her public divorce, she felt invisible. The same world that had praised her beauty now passed her by. Behind the makeup and applause was a woman searching for something deeper than admiration. Years later, when she met Keith Urban, she found healing not in fame but in faithfulness, in love that stayed when the lights went out. That's the truth we forget. Real love begins when performance ends. Fame teaches people to act. Faith teaches people to be real. Every marriage faces its own version of that stage. The early excitement, the attention, the romance that feels effortless. But eventually the show ends and ordinary life begins. The test is not whether the feeling lasts, but whether faith remains. The greatest romances are not built on chemistry, but on character. They endure not because life stays easy, but because both hearts choose to stay kind. When the spotlight fades, what remains is presence, the willingness to forgive, to listen, to stay. The world may never clap for such love, but heaven does. Because true love does not need a stage. It only needs two souls who keep choosing each other when no one is watching. 3. Life is not a bed of roses. No one goes through life trouble-free. Pain visits us all, the rich and the poor, the faithful and the lost. It arrives like an uninvited guest, often when we least expect it, sweeping away our peace and plans. When suffering comes, it tests what we truly believe. For many couples, those moments of trial reveal whether love was rooted in comfort or in covenant. There's an old story about a donkey that fell into a well. The farmer, thinking there was no hope, began to fill the hole with soil. But each time dirt fell on its back, the donkey shook it off and stepped on it, until little by little, it rose above what was meant to bury it. That is love, not the absence of struggle, but the courage to keep stepping up together. When sickness comes, when money runs short, when silence replaces laughter, that's when, for better or for worse, finds its meaning. True love does not run away when life turns hard. It kneels, it prays, it endures. Because every burden carried together becomes a bridge to something greater. When two hearts refuse to give up, even pain becomes a teacher, shaping not just their bond, but their souls. 4. When forever is built on sacrifice. Forever is not found in fairy tales. It's built one day at a time, through small acts of dying to self. Love that lasts does not live on feelings. It survives on choices made in silence. The choice to listen when pride wants to argue. The choice to forgive when pain demands revenge. The choice to stay when walking away seems easier. I know a couple who went through a storm that could have destroyed them. Both sought comfort elsewhere. Both were wounded. Both nearly gave up. But somehow grace found its way back. They stayed, not because everything was fixed, but because they still believed in something greater, in the God who never stopped loving them. Time, prayer, and humility softened their hearts. They rekindled love not through passion, but through perseverance. Today they are still together, older, gentler, and surrounded by grandchildren who know what grace looks like. Their story reminds us that forever is not perfection. It's persistence. It's grace transforming failure into faithfulness. Every I still do becomes a quiet miracle, proof that true love is not about never falling, but about always rising again, together. Whisper moment. When love stays quiet, heaven hears louder. When pride kneels, grace stands taller. And when two hearts keep choosing, God calls it forever. Reflection prompts. Real love in an unreal world. 1. When love was tested, how did I respond? Did I choose patience or pride, prayer or complaint? Real love is not measured by how it begins, but by how it endures when things fall apart. 2. Do I love only when it is easy, or also when it costs me something? Love without sacrifice is only emotion. Covenant love asks for faith, to keep giving when the feeling is gone, and to keep hoping when the outcome is unknown. 3. What kind of love am I building? Emotional, conditional, or covenantal? The world teaches us to chase comfort. Faith teaches us to build character. Which one am I choosing?